Hello traders and welcome to our market update video. It's Tune Upon here, founder of Master Markets Illustrates Conference and the Traders Open Day. It's the 10th of Jan 2020. Can you believe it? It's already into the second week of Jan, guys. Yeah, let's get on to it. Let's keep on top of the market. Now, as we usually do on a market update, we're going to just teach one topic, and then after that, we're going to go and see our performance for this week so far into the new year. So let's see over here. So what we have at the moment here, what I want to teach you first is basically on the concept of swing bars. Okay, now swing bars are basically the high or the low of the market, right? So either the high or the low of the market, isn't it? Now, of course, here we have an indicator which actually has quantified these levels on how to identify a high or a low bar in real time. Okay, so these arrows pop up in real time once they have quantified or they have fulfilled the certain criteria that we have programmed and that you must do. And we always say that in all our videos and conferences that we have done. Now, in terms of this topic over here, other than the quantification, which of course you guys can contact us about and talk to us about it. Now, other than that, how do you identify a swing bar or a potential swing bar in real time and place your money on it? Now, let's take a look and I'll give you some practical examples. Now, a swing bar can either be in the terms of a mid-range bar, which we actually call over here a PSWB, which actually the terminology we should actually change because it conflicts with the swing bar. If something is going to be a potential swing bar, I can't call this PSWB2, right? So for now, we'll call this a mid-range bar. And the next one can be a primary. I'll go through all of this in a minute. And then finally, this one can be an IB. What I must mention is that this one here can include an OB2. Okay, now what do I mean by all of that? Let me explain. You see, for example, all you got to ask yourself at any one point of time in the market is this bar going to become a swing bar and turn around, or is it going to continue in the same direction, right? So my question is then, is this going to be a potential swing bar? Is this going to become the one where the swing low arrow comes up in the future, right? So I enter early and once it comes up, I can exit or let it even run further, right? So how do I know that? First of all, you have to identify how you have to visualize and project what are the three different types of price patterns that can be. Remember, we pride ourselves as being one of the best trading indicators in terms of price action. Okay, all this is just based on price, no indicators at all. So the mid-range bar, for example, that I am saying that it could become a potential swing bar is that once we got all these red bars all coming down, all the selling taking place, and finally I get one bar which does this, right? Which does close above his mid range. Now that I am saying could be a potential swing bar. And what I am saying is that this is called a mid range bar for clarity's sake and for less of confliction of these two words. However, in our for our clients and all that, we call this a PSWB, but we should be changing that very soon. Okay, right. So that's a mid-range bar. Okay, now the mid-range bar I said can also become an OB2. So what I mean by that is that let's say, for example, if I erase this away, um, I believe some of you can already visualize what I'm going to say. It can also be like that, right? We're still closing above his mid-range, but that's an OB bar, isn't it? So you can do that too. Now the final thing what I want to leave you off with is that remember that sometimes this can also be a red bar but still closing above its mid-range, is it not? You see, look, and that one still closing above its mid-range over there, right? So for example, like this cable over here, is it closing above its mid-range over here? We've actually got indicators designed by our own clients over here who have shown that we can just point over it and you can see whether it's above the mid-range. You see it's 0.51 at the moment. If you read over here, it says 0.51. So you see it's a red bar, but it's closed above its mid-range. Okay, so that's also called a mid-range bar. As long as it closes above the mid-range, okay, doesn't matter if it closes below the open or closes above the open, whether it's a red bar or a seller bar. So just mid-range bar. So those are the one type of potential swing bars that could happen. The next one could be ones which are, for example, the lowest point. Okay, this is not closing above his mid-range, right? To go long or to buy into, right? So, however, over here you can see that if the next bar, if the next bar takes out the high, which is called a primary, and then goes up further, now that is a primary. That's what we call a primary. And now that could be a potential turning point. Okay, so that the primary itself is not the potential swing bar, it's a primary minus one. So I should be very clear over here. It should be primary minus one. Okay. Then the final thing, if you have guessed already by now, would be the IB minus one bar. So the same thing again. I shouldn't erase that, but doesn't matter. The same thing again. So we got this one again. So we don't know if this is going to turn or not because it's a seller bar. But the next one, traders, right? The next one is what I'm looking for. It's an IB, isn't it? So I'm saying that the IB, not the IB, of course, cannot be the turning point. It's got to be the lowest or the highest. So the IB minus one can be the turning point. Then you decide where you want to enter and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So understanding that, so let's go and take a look at all the markets at the moment. Okay, and then I'll show you what I really mean. All right. So remember that a potential swing bar, so we take a look at all the swing low points at the moment, right? So this swing bar over here, what is it? This is a what? A mid-range bar. Look, it's 0.59. Can you see that? It's 0.59, right? So it's 0.59 and that is a mid-range bar. Okay, that's what we got over there. Next, let's take a look at the next one. What is the low over here? The last low was over here. Look at that. That is an IB minus 1, right? That is an IB minus 1 over here. And then what else we got over here? The last low, look, this is IB minus 1 as well. This one here, let's see the last low. The last swing low was here, right? And what was that? IB minus 1 again. You see here, yesterday we did take that trade over here, which I'm going to talk to you about in very shortly. You can see over here, this one over here is what we looked at for it to go up further, and we put this signal out there. But whereas as you can see, it didn't really work because the low got taken out, right? So we're looking to capture. So we do this in real time. We're just not talking about hindsight over here. So we're really talking about this in real time. Okay. So this one over here is actually, as you can see, is close below the open, but it's above the mid-range. You see, look over there, the indicator that our client did, 0.61 over there, right? So that's really good, right? So that's a PSWB. That's a mid-range bar, isn't it? As I said, this is another mid-range bar is forming today as well. Next one, Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar over here, what do we have? Aussie dollar over here, we have this last swing low over here. Let's take a look. I guess you guys are getting the idea, right? I mean, 6838, 68382, that's an IB, right? That's an IB minus 1. Not only currencies, you can apply this to anything. So let's take a look over here in the indicator. So this one here is a primary minus 1. Look at that, right? Primary minus 1. The Dow Jones, you can see that that's a mid-range bar, very strong. Outsider bar, you see? This is an outsider bar here. Outsider bar, mid-range bar, isn't it? Right, great stuff. Then next, what else we got? Gold. Gold over here was basically an IB minus 1 here. And finally, oil. You can see over here too, IB minus 1 again, right? IB minus 1 again. So there you go. So that's how we see a swing bars, and then you go and do your homework in terms of the opposite side. So I've done for you the swing low, all the swing bars for the swing low part. You go and do your exercise on how you can look at potential swing bars for the high side, and practice for yourself with pen and paper on these mid-range bars, on these primary bars, on these IB bars, and keep testing yourself. But one critical thing is to identify the highs and lows and how they form and to quantify them. Okay, if you want to know more about that, of course, contact us. We're more than happy to help. All right, good. Now, swiftly moving on to our performance, right? Our performance for now. You can see over here in terms of prime profits, what we are looking at, in terms of the elite room, we had a whooping 2.02% profit that was done in about 3-4 days. We took it on single market compression. This was basically a momentum based strategy. Now, the other one, in terms of the live trading room, not sure why this one is coming up here. In any case, so live trading room over there. We had money bars. We did take that. Remember, I showed you that trade on euro dollar to capture the swing bar, but we didn't get lucky on that one. That was a -1. So overall, if you take a look at it, I mean, if I were to do, let's just add it all up. If I were to do 2.02%, take away 1, that leaves us with 1.02% profit up, right? And in terms of pips, that was 100 pips profit on the first trade minus 23 pips on here. That would give us about 77 pips. And on in terms of 10 pounds a pip, that would give us a nice 770 pounds profit just for 1 week worth of work, which is all passive, all 15 minutes per day, and all taken care of itself. And of course, we are shortcutting the journey by a tremendous amount for you so that you can break the time and money link very successfully. Okay, great. So I guess that's pretty much that on me in terms of the market update, in terms of our performance, and so forth. So if you want to know anything and go forward to trading this year and this get a general understanding of the financial market, so critical skill and knowledge that you must have, definitely get in contact with us and we'll bring you forward this year. Okay, it's going to be a fantastic year this year in terms of the markets as well. A lot of people are projecting that. So let's get involved with that. Alright, with that, as we always say, till the next time, stay disciplined, follow your trading plan, and keep trading like a master.